Awesome. Hello, hello, hello again. This is Gayle Nicholson with another episode of the Corona Spotlight 2020. How are you today? So glad to see you. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I am really very excited to be talking with our next guest. She was a referral from a friend, and so I don't really know too much about her. But what I do know is this: when we started chatting together on the phone last week, when we set up all this up, oh my gosh, we connected like you wouldn't even believe. I know you're going to love her just as much as I do. So let me introduce to you Miss Miko Lau, a greatness catalyst, I've named you. And she's here to tell us about her program, 26 Days to Greatness. So thanks for joining us today, Miko. How are you?
Oh my goodness, Gail. I just want to say thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor, and I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this, to really speak with your audience and to just have a nice conversation, especially now and everything that's happening. So I'm doing good, and thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you. So we were just talking before all of this about how the coronavirus quarantine has impacted different people different ways, and you and I are both similar in that it's really kind of opened up some space for us to discover a whole new level of being and life. So you want to tell our audience a little bit about how that showed up for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I truly do believe and know that this whole coronavirus, like, even though right now, when we're in the middle of it, it may not seem that way, but a couple months down the road, next year, if we look back, we really get to see that this is a window of opportunity for so many of us to really, like you said, become a new way of being. And I think what's happening right now with life is really trying to get us to surrender, like surrender the need to try to control everything outside of us. Just like constantly giving us all these like next challenge, next challenge. Now we have the protest, and it's like life is just getting us to surrender to what is and just completely let go. And I think that really applies not just like globally, but on a personal scale, right? Like we talked about a scale before camera, like we experience this inside our business, in our careers, our relationship, so many things we were trying to control up until this point. Like we want our partner to behave this way, we want our business to go this way, like we have all these expectations and all these outcomes that we want to achieve, and we kept going at it even though we may not be happy or satisfied, until life just like knock us all down and be like, nope, that's not how you're gonna do it. You gotta just surrender and do what is, what, just surrender to that. And that's really what I experienced ever since the lockdown has happened.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
just spoke with a friend yesterday we were talking about how her perception is that nature, Mother Nature, the universe, whatever you want to call that force
Hmm.
that keeps it all together, is
Yeah.
hitting the reset button.
Hmm.
As if, you know what, you guys have gotten, mama's got the wooden spoon and you're all on timeout. Yeah. You know, it's
Pretty much. Yeah.
right? It's kind of feeds in with what you're saying. The universe is trying to get us to surrender. Like, what's really important? Where are the priorities? And what's just us being distracted by bright shiny with no substance, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
is this the first time that you've been brought to surrender? Give me a little bit of a background on your journey that got you here.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I started with this whole what you would call spiritual awakening, entrepreneurship journey about 3 years ago, really seeing outside the box and seeing a level beyond what society has conditioned me to believe who I was. And a lot of us can probably relate to this. We've been like conditioned to think that we are what we achieve, or we are what we get. We are how much money we earn. Like that's the story that society has conditioned us to believe. And that was the path that I was really walking down as a child from immigrant family. Like my family and I came from Hong Kong in 2005, and like my whole life was just like go to school, get good grades, go to a nice college, and get a good job, and my future would be so much happier than what my parents had, which was nothing. They didn't have money, and they sacrificed everything to prepare for my future here in the United States. So I did all of that. I went to Berkeley. I got like a 3.84 GPA, and I came out of college and pretty much realized like I was so unhappy. And even though I had a job that paid pretty good, but I was still like, there was something in me, like this feeling in my gut, like that I'm just meant for something so much bigger, and that I'm here to impact the world like in my own way. And that was not possible in any job that I could find on like Google search, like Indeed. I was just, every time when I tried to look for a new job, I would just be so miserable. And then I discovered entrepreneurship one day, and that's also like the same time I discovered that I have so much power within me to create my own reality. Like that's like it all happened at the same time. And that's just been an amazing journey of like understanding the power of my thoughts, the power of my emotions, and knowing that it is possible for me to have massive abundance and live my dream life. Like before that, I always just automatically decided that it was not possible for me. Like have the mansion or travel the world. Like that was just not possible. Like it was just a thing until I questioned, like, why not? Like, why is it not possible? And then that just sent me down on a journey of like really getting to know who I am on a much bigger level. And I would say like the surrender, I would say it's really just starting to happen with the whole coronavirus. Like up until that point, I was still super driven by my ego needs, by the wounds in my heart that was really driving my ambition, my motivation. Like I need to achieve to prove my worth. I need to create this business so I can make the money. Like it was so driven by ego and fear and pain from childhood, until everything just got knocked off, like pull the rug off of grounds, our feet, and then it's just like got me to a place where I have to surrender, and it's been beautiful. It's been so beautiful. Yeah.
So tell me about the exponential impact that you've seen in your business since COVID kind of locked us all down and we had to go, okay, it's not out there, maybe it's in here. What are we gonna do? How has that been for you?
Yeah. So, Gail, for like the past 3 years in my entrepreneurship journey, like I thought I was always grinding and pushing and hustling and putting in the work, but I had nothing to show for it. No money, no actual business, just nothing for 3 years. And then I was just like, I realized I was playing way too small. I was letting my own insecurities, my own fears, my own limitations, I was making it all about me, when I know that there was a vision in my heart that was placed there by something higher, something divine. There was a reason that was placed in my heart. If I continue to play too small and make it all about me, when it's destined for me to step up and lead, and I'm not doing that, especially now, like, and I always know like there is something so much bigger than what's happening with just the virus. Like intuitively, I just feel it. I feel like this is a great awakening, like globally rising consciousness is rising. So I just feel like now I really got to step up. I really got to step up and be the leader that I know I'm meant to be. So that gave me the idea to put together the 26 Days to Greatness Challenge, which just launched yesterday. And that, when I put it together, it was really like the intention, first of all, like I need to no longer play too small. But at the same time, I also know there are so many heart-centered individuals out there who have this desire to want to make a difference, but they are letting themselves be in their own way. So that's why I put together the series, really pull together experts and powerful mentors who can teach others, like give them all the tools and skill set that they need to get out of their smallness and tap into their greatness. And together I have this vision. It's just like an army of individuals who are leading our planet into a direction of light, love, and peace and harmony. So that happened. I put together the series in like 2 months, and I enrolled about 36 powerful individuals into my vision to
Mm-hmm.
serve these people. And then it launched yesterday, and now just really
So
excited to see.
tell me some of the people that are going to be the leaders that are doing this, and give me an idea of the structure. As I understand it, you've got
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
different person teaching each day throughout
Yes,
June, correct?
yes. Mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
huge. Now, who are these people, and what kind of things will they be teaching on?
Yeah, so a couple, I will start off with the first one yesterday. We did the topic Activate Your Greatness with Asim Alioski, who is a teacher all the way from South of France in Europe. And he really guided us through like a meditation visualization process, really embodying what that feels like, that to reconnect to that seed of greatness within us. And it's a very interactive experience. So throughout the entire series, it's not just an interview that people listen to and then forget about it. It's very interactive and very like transformational. I don't
Nice.
want it to be just informational. So that was one example. And I interview a bunch of like spiritual entrepreneurs. There's a medium, there's like an animal whisperer, there's an intuitive like business coach, and even just like business coaches in itself, like because at the end of the day, business, what that means to me is us getting to know who we are and bringing out our gifts and get paid for it, like solving a problem for the role and get paid for it. So I also interview a bunch of like business coaches who talked about how to do compassionate based marketing, how to enroll people into the greatness, like the sales conversation, all of that are like super important skills that
Mm-hmm.
you will need in order to make a difference out there and build a business and get paid for that. So,
Right.
mm-hmm,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's a brilliant idea. I absolutely love it. Now, let's kind of like shift tacks for a second here,
Mm-hmm,
okay?
mm-hmm,
Because I have I have in the past been one of the audience members in these summits and these
mm-hmm.
wonderful teaching tools that have
Yeah.
a dozen different teachers or 30 different teachers or whatever, right? And they're
Mm-hmm,
really really great stuff, but they don't always, I mean, they give me good information, but they don't
mm-hmm.
necessarily get me off my butt to go do stuff, right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm,
what do
mm-hmm,
you think that that is, like over here with me, that I could
mm-hmm,
watch all of this inspirational stuff, but I
mm-hmm.
still can't kick myself out of playing small? What do you think
That's a
that might
really good
be?
question. Yeah, that's a really good question. And I've been there too. Like I've been there so literally just very recently. Like I would try to do all these things like outside of me. I want to learn this strategy. I want to learn from this mentor who has created a eight-figure business. I do all these things outside of me, but without shifting the core of my being first. And that's like the deep, deep, deep work that so many people forget to do, especially like ambitious entrepreneurs. When we see like a vehicle that would give us the time freedom, the financial freedom, we jump immediately into that and we keep pushing and we keep pushing and grinding. And I've been there. That's why I can say, how this was like. And only to the point where we're frustrated, burned out, and we don't see the results. And that's because we didn't shift the core of our being. And that comes back down to like it all what I do for people. It's like really diving deep to understand like the inner child wounds that's really still like playing out the same stories that it's running in the back of your mind, and which again it's gonna shift like your core emotions that you are vibrating at on a consistent basis. So a lot of that are deep and is subtle, and those tend to be like the self-sabotaging tendencies that show up, like procrastinations, just not doing what you think you need, what's on the to-do list that it's going to move your business forward. All of those things are like really deep rooted into the core foundation, and that's really, I think, a lot of people may not be aware. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I
Yeah.
have in my notes that you are a master at guided visualizations and meditations and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So, do you have something that you can do for our audience right now?
Yeah, I would love to. So I would say if anyone listening right now, if you're not driving, if you're sitting down, it's best because I would love for us to close our eyes. So if you just want to close your eyes and just sit comfortably, whatever ways you want. And first step, which is something that so many of us forget to do, is actually just take a couple of deep breaths in. So while we're doing that, I want us to put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. So when you breathe in, so take a deep breath in, your belly's gonna extend now. So breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, just squeeze your belly. So breathe out through your mouth. Let's do another one. So breathe in through your nose, belly extending out. And breathe out through your mouth. And then this last one, want us to breathe in through our nose again. So breathe in. And I want us to hold for 5 seconds. And breathe out. And as you're sitting here, a lot of other thoughts and emotions are just going to show up. And I want us to be absolutely okay with it. Like there's no judgments, no trying to shoot them away. If you're thinking about what you're trying to eat next after this, watching this live stream, that's okay. Let it be there. But I want us to just observe those thoughts coming in and out. Continue to breathe. And just really sit here and see if you can listen to that stillness, that silence, beyond all those thoughts and the emotions coming up. And whatever emotions that you're feeling right now, I know there's so much going on right now. You may be feeling anger, frustration, fear, stress, worry. I want you to bring that up right now. Just feel that emotion. And where in your body are you feeling this? Are you feeling tension on your chest, tightness on your facial feet muscles? Where are you feeling it in your body? And just be there with that emotion. And if you want to visualize this, you can visualize this gray mist just kind of brewing inside your body. Wherever you're feeling that tension, you have this gray, misty stuff just hovering over that part of your body. Again, no judgments, no trying to fix it. Just feel it. Feel that pain, feel that anger, feel that fear. And while that's still there right now, hovering in your body, I want us to shift our focus away and imagine at the top of your head or through your nostrils when you breathe in right now. Breathe in a stream of beautiful golden light. Just breathe that in through your nose. Breathe in. And then this beautiful golden light is just traveling down through your lungs into that area where that gray mist is hovering. That's causing you tension. Continue to breathe in more of that bright light. And I want you to see that light saturating this tense gray mist in your body. And as you exhale, breathe out that gray mist. Breathe out. Continue to breathe in bright light. Saturate your entire body. Breathe out gray, misty stuff, tension. Release, let it go. Let's take 3 deep breaths in. So again, breathing in through your nose, belly, extending out. Breathe out, squeeze your belly. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. And then again, we're going to hold on the last one. So breathe in. Hold for 5. And breathe out. Let go of all the tension. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes and join us back.
Awesome. That was very relaxing. Thank you.
How did it feel, Gayle?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I love that little when
Did you cry?
Oh, I can't say necessarily cry. My eyes were definitely watering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that little feeling that you get when you're meditating, that you're kind of out of body. You know, like you're so relaxed that you're just kind of floating there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you.
That's amazing that you were able to accomplish that in such a short time. A lot of times, and the reason why I have us breathe, and this is something that I caught myself not doing when I was just so caught up in that hustle and the grind. It's like I totally forget how to breathe and deeply. And just by taking those conscious deep breathing, immediately that reconnect us back to something higher. And not just be so focused in this like physical body with the physical struggles and the problems that pretty much exist in our day-to-day life. So just by doing that alone, it's powerful. Yeah.
Yes, agreed. That's absolutely wonderful. Now, I want you to tell us a little bit more about the 26-day to Greatness Challenge, and also how our audience can get involved with that, because I know you started yesterday, but it's not too late, right? It's not like they had to be in before the beginning of it or else no go, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's never too late, and I'm someone who's very flexible. I'm just so happy if anyone would love to like really join us on this series and tapping into your greatness, because I believe that when one person do the work, that's really going to create that ripple effect that's going to impact so many more people than they can even imagine. So if you would love to participate with us, join us in the challenge, just go to 26daystogreatness.com. The 26 is in the number, so 26daystogreatness.com. And once you sign up, you will receive like a welcome email from me. If you don't see it, check spam. And then just go ahead and reply back to that email directly to me, and I can send you today and yesterday's workshop that was sent out early in the morning, so that way you can still catch up. And each workshop is only about 30 to 45 minutes, so if you dedicate 2 hours of your time today, you can still be caught up with what's next. And even if you cannot watch all the workshop, even if you can catch 1 or 2, I can promise you, because like one nugget, one wisdom, and one tool can completely change your life in so many ways. And we also have a private Facebook group. If you search up 26 Days to Greatness, or if you get that welcome email, you'll be able to join our Facebook group. And you can connect with the speakers on there inside the group. So like it's so powerful. If you have any additional questions, you can just go ahead and connect with them there, and just like find yourself a nice community of people to support you on this journey.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for being part of bringing the world into a better way of being through all of this. I really appreciate what you're putting out there, and I wanted to ask you, do you have any final thoughts for our audience today?
Yeah, I would just say, well, before I get into that, yeah, I just want to acknowledge you too for stepping up and doing what you're doing right now. It's really powerful, and we need more heart-centered and compassionate leaders like you to just go out there and do what we are inspired to do, and to serve right now. And anyone listening, I totally understand, like there might be still like a small voice in the back of your mind who's still like trying to argue with you, hold you back to your smallness. I want us to just remember, like, this is not about us as much as it feels like it is about us. Like, think about the people in your life, or even think about your grandkids, or I don't have kids yet, but like I think about my future kids' future, right? Like, what can I do today to make a difference for those people? And when we are in a state of depression or fear and anxiety, the quickest way to get out of that is when we can focus outwards. And when we are focusing outwards, we immediately just feel like we're not in lack. Immediately, we feel like we're perfect where we're at so that we can help someone else. So I encourage you guys to do that. And even if this doesn't resonate with you, the 26 Days to Greatness Challenge, think about another person in your life who you know this will absolutely benefit, and share the gift of giving. And the best gift that you can give anyone is to help them reconnect back to who they are. So that's all I want to share.
Awesome. That is absolutely fantastic advice. And thank you so much for sharing that. That's great. All right,
Mhm.
Facebook, thank you again for joining me and my guest today, Miko. Please have a
Yay.
wonderful day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye. When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.